Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. We're your hosts, Kiera Dent
and Dr. Mark Costes.
Mark and I had this crazy idea that maybe we could combine a dentist and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. And Dental 18 podcast was created.
I'm a practicing dentist, a multiple practice owner, a dental performance coach, and the founder of the Dental Success Institute.
I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, current practice owner, and international dental consultant. Mark and I don't just understand you, we are you.
Our goal is to positively impact the world of dentistry by sharing our lessons learned from the road in hundreds of dental offices.
Two perspectives, one mission, to help dental professionals reach their full potential. Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dental 18 podcast. My name is Kiera Dent, and I have a cold, so my voice got really low. That's not true. My name is Dr. Mark Costes, and on the line we have Kiera Dent coming at you live from the Southwest Terminal in the Las Vegas airport, actually on a plane. How are you today, Kiera?
Fantastic. That was not the expected intro I was waiting for.
That was not the voice that people had become accustomed to in the intro either.
That was pretty clever. You've been clever on your intros today, so I'm loving it. It's been fun.
I've been doing this a bit. 549 episodes in the Dentalpreneur. I think I'm getting used to this. Just starting to get the hang of it.
This whole thing, this podcast.
This whole thing. Oh man, I just, no big deal at all. How are you?
No big deal.
How are you today?
I'm doing really well. I think I'm on row 5.
Ooh.
Window, of course, always. You like the aisles. I do the windows. This way I can podcast without them noticing I'm podcasting.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah. That's not me, man. I need to have access. I need to be able to, if the plane's going down, man, I am jumping out into the aisle. I'm running to the exit. I'm getting ready to pull on that handle.
Hands up. These are the money makers. I cannot ever lose my hands. I'm a dentist, guys. Hands up.
Oh, man.
Great. It's super good to have you back. I feel like I've been podcasting on the Dental 18 without you, and it feels good to have you back. This is where we started, and this is where I like to be. So yeah, I'm glad to have you on.
Well, every once in a while, the old guy's available every once in a while. So whenever you need me, I'm here. If you want to riff and you want to be solo, you want to talk to other people, doesn't hurt my feelers at all. So you just ask. Whenever you need me, I'm here for you, K-Dog.
Well, anytime you want to be on here, Mark Costes, you can be on. So it's good. We should definitely talk. I feel like it's been a while, so let's chat. People have been loving, Mark, your podcast where you talked about the important versus the urgent. That has been a theme that's popping up left and right. So solid work on that one. I even think about it. I'm working on the urgent, not the important today. How can I revamp this? So Nice work on that. A lot of great feedback on that for you. So
thank you
for that.
I really appreciate that. And I truly believe it. I live it every single day because there are going to be things that distract us from our overall vision. I just heard today, one of my great mentors, he was speaking to me via Skype, and he said, if anything is bothering you today, I want you to take a really, really hard look at what it is that's absorbing you and wrecking your day, wrecking your energy. Is this going to be important in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years? The answer is no. 99% of the time, whatever's bothering you today is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So, that's something that I constantly try to remind myself of. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm constantly talking about my mentors and people that guide me and people that I look up to as far as, influencers, et cetera. I'm constantly looking for an edge. I'm constantly looking for people to show me the way because, in this world, there are people that have encountered pretty much every challenge that you will ever encounter in your life. I know it feels like you're isolated and that what you're going through is unique, but there is somebody out there that has experienced probably exactly what you're experiencing and struggling with, and they've gotten through it and succeeded on the other side of it. So I'm always looking for an edge. I'm always looking for advice from people that I respect. So open your mind and you'll find most of the answers from people that have experienced exactly what you're going through right now.
So I actually want to think right into that because I think as teens, we hear our doctors going to see. We hear you getting mentors. You guys are doctors. But as team members, how can we do that same thing? And I want to pick your brain. I really don't know the answer there. So I'm excited to ask Mark his opinion, and we go and riff back and forth, because as team members, how can they get mentors? What things have you seen in offices, and I'll add my input as well, but what areas can team members grow and mentor themselves? Because I think oftentimes, granted, I could just be speaking for myself, but I always feel like that mentorship is out of my realm. That's for the doctors. That's for the office managers. That's for the leadership. But I disagree, because I think as people, every person, no matter where you are, whatever your job is, should be looking for mentorship. And I'm curious what you think of teams and how they can get that mentorship and edge to be better versions of themselves as well.
Oh gosh, we are living in this age of information, Kiera, where it has never been easier and more great information has never been more accessible at our fingertips, right? There are blogs, there are webinars, there are YouTube videos, there are audiobooks, there are regular books, there are podcasts. There are so many different ways that we can consume content and select our own mentors. And, it's so cool because, the very first book I ever read from cover to cover was Think and Grow Rich when I was 15 years old. I found a copy of it in my dad's study and I read it from cover to cover and then again from cover to cover. So that book was all about getting your head right, not just about money, but about personal development and making sure that we become the best versions of ourselves. And that the author of that, Earl Nightingale, was somebody that had been dead for decades before I read that book. And he is one of my mentors. And it was at that time, that early, that I realized that I didn't have to know my mentors personally for them to be my mentors. And then shortly after, I saved up my money. I saw an infomercial that this big, tall, dorky looking guy was selling these tapes on TV late at night called Personal Power. And his name was Tony Robbins. And he was my next mentor. And I only recently met Tony Robbins, and now I get to meet with him. Now I get to work with him. I'm so honored that I get to be one of his board members, one of his board of ambassadors for one of his companies. But it wasn't until recently that I met him. But all these years, I didn't know who he was personally, but he was one of my mentors. So you don't have to personally know somebody for them to be your mentors. There are so many great mentors online now, so many incredible authors that have really, really changed the landscape of entrepreneurship and leadership, and how to be a better human being, how to get better sleep, how to have a mindfulness routine, how to treat your body well for a longer and more energetic and passionate life. I mean, there's a million different ways that you can plug into different people and have them become your mentor.
I love that so much, because I think so often there are so many hurdles that we come up with of, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, and it's just excuses. I remember when you and I first started working together, I'm sorry, this announcement, they keep talking about 10 minutes. I keep muting myself. So like, Mark, you might need to take over again.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll actually have you take over, and as soon as they stop talking, I'll come back on.
Okay. Yeah. So right now, if I look across at my bookshelf here, I have a guy named Dan Kennedy, who was one of my mentors for copywriting. I have a guy named Gino Wickman, who's written several books that I just love on business systemization. He's one of my mentors. I'm beating a dead horse, but the bottom line is John C. Maxwell. He's my mentor on leadership. Never met him. There are lots and lots of different opportunities if you just know how to Google, and you can use YouTube as a search as a search engine as well. Just type in the topic that you're struggling with at any given time. Now you're going to have to a lot of times sift through a lot of garbage, but TED Talks are great. TED Talks are great because those are vetted speakers already. Those are like the best of the best. Those are 18-minute presentations. You can watch any of those. You'll get great information, and that'll take you down a rabbit hole. You find somebody's TED Talk, then you order their book, and then they refer 3 other people in a topic area that you're interested in learning more about. And that's how it starts. It's a snowball that just rolls downhill.
I love that so much, because I used to make excuses. And when you and I even first started coaching together, I remember you said, Kiera, just get Audible. And I was like, Mark, I don't want to listen to Audible. That's ridiculous. And I started realizing I set a goal for myself to read 1 book per month. as silly as that sounds, because Mark, you consume a book per day. I feel like you consume so much knowledge. So a book for me a month was a huge thing because growing up, I didn't enjoy reading. But I will tell you that as I read and so some of my favorites have been, I'm obsessed with Traction. I love The Go-Giver. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah. I love the Extreme Ownership. Those books, The E-Myth Revisited, those are fantastic leadership books. Some of them are simple, some of them are big, and you just start to go after people. I've seen on Facebook many times where you'll get a lot of people that will give you information of the best books that they've read. But Mark, I love what you said of finding people that you really respect. Tony Robbins is one of my mentors. I love listening to his YouTube. I will put him on in the shower. I will listen to his podcast. I love listening to your podcast because there will be topics that you'll talk about. And whoever the guest is on there, usually they have information that they're willing to share. And for me, I started looking at, okay, if there are 5 people that I want to be like, this is even as a dental assistant, because sure, clinically, I think you can get mentors, like ask your dentist to help you do certain things, ask your hygienist within your office, look around at the friends and the networks you have. Office managers, please reach out on the Dental A team. We have a network where I'm starting to connect office managers of similar sizes, practices together so you have a resource of like-minded. So that's clinical side. Treatment coordinators, we have a whole community for treatment coordinators. Hop onto DTSN, the Dental Team Success Network, lots of resources clinically. But I feel as people, Mark, you hit it on the head today of saying research YouTube, Google, and start finding those people that really impact and speak to your soul, because then it will snowball and it will take you in different directions. And I have found just in the last 2 years since I've been making it a conscious effort to read one book that will propel me in a different direction, and then I start to implement and I act on those items. And I always try to take at least one thing away from every single book that I read and digest it and put it into my own life to make me a better person. But that is the change in the growth that I feel so many of us are looking for, that your dentists are doing, that your doctor friends are doing, and as team members, I feel this is where the A team comes in and you really do rise to that higher level.
Good stuff. What a great topic. What a great topic. So I can tell that you're getting dirty looks from the people that are sitting next to you on the airplane, and the stewardess is going to take your microphone away any second now. So I'm going to let you go.
I appreciate that. There are a few people, I just got somebody right next to me, so they probably would appreciate me not geeking out on dentistry.
Yep.
But I really do challenge everyone on the Dental A team to pick one book. If it's me, if it's Mark, if it's anybody who's been on the show, Tiffany, Donna, whoever resonates with you, find out one of your friends, find some area, whether it's a book, a TED Talk, and then watch it and implement and become a better version of yourself. Mark, I love that you said mentors don't have to be people you actually know. They can just be somebody who's inspired you.
Boom. There it is, Kiera Dent. You be careful. Have a safe trip to Oklahoma. Tell our great friend, Dr. Bo Sparkman, I said hi, give him a high five and a hug for me, and you travel safe. We'll talk to you very soon.
I always will. Thanks, Mark. You too. Thanks again for doing the podcast.
All right. Dental A team listeners, thank you so much. Coming at you live, it was K-Dog Kiera Dent and Dr. Mark Costes.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.